YouTube, good morning, good morning. What's up, what's up? Brad, what's going on? Big Steve, how you doing? For those of you in MMU tuning in, what's up, what's up? We got Chris, Chris or Lewis. I've been saying Lewis these last couple of days. We got George in the building, Lucas, Leslie, and so forth. How you guys doing on this fine, beautiful Friday morning? Guys, today's the 2nd of June, right? So here we are into the new month. For me, I don't really like to think about it too much. I don't want to create any artificial pressure for myself. This whole concept of a new month and, things like that. But for me, I look at it as new month, same me, right? Same me because for all these years, I've always been trying to be disciplined and consistent. So I'm just going to continue to try and be and try and do what I've been doing, right? So it's just another beautiful day. There's no pressure here. It's us trying to do what we've been trying to do and been studying to do, which is to just trade. So with that being said, let's take a look at scanners, right? There's a few stocks that are moving up. And so let's see, what's really going on this Friday. This is exactly, the perfect time to check our scanners. For those of you on YouTube, you guys can see the scans, right? For those of you in Discord, you guys will be able to see the stocks that I pull up right from the scans, right? Right now, MMV and the UCAR are the two that I'm keeping an eye on. But coming down on the list, right, MMV is up 168%, which is a huge move, currently around 250, right? And it's actually climbing right now, breaking out 286 for the highs. 6 million shares of volume, 6 million shares in the float. MMV, absolutely ripping. So pre-market seems to just be on fire these last couple of days, right? Those pre-market traders that are out there, you guys are probably killing it, with these big moves. This is absolutely impressive. So right now, the pre-market highs are at 286. That might change as we're climbing. The 200 EMA, as I'm looking at the daily chart, is currently at 245. Oh, excuse me, 545. That is 545. So I'm going to map out 545. And this thing is really moving, actually. It's extended, though. I'm not even going to think about trading it. It's too late. Just be patient and wait for the open. Yeah, so we got 545 for the 200 EMA. So I'll map out that level. And, just looking at the daily chart, if this thing continues to go at this pace, how far can we go? Looking back at candles, going back to January 12th of this year, we had 27 million shares of volume, January 12th. And we had a high point of 435. That is an area that I'm going to watch at. Some people might say, hey, Relentless, why are you even looking at daily levels, right? Well, usually the bigger the time frame, the more significance. And what I'm doing is essentially looking back at candles that stands out. Because at the end of the day, other humans are who's really trading here, right? There's other people trading. And what are other people looking at? Things that are obvious. So when there's a big volume candlestick or just a big candlestick in general, something that stands out, I want to keep an eye on it. So January 12th, we had a high point of 435. 435. Other than that, on the 9th, we had a big move down with a high of 1315. And then before that, we had 1775. 1315 and 1775. Now, this stock is it's still going. I kind of don't like that. I prefer a stock to be resting coming into the open. This one is surging up. It's just telling me it's super extended. Now, there's a chance this stock, and I'd say like a less than 5% chance, where it's just really, really irrationally strong and it just keeps going even into the open. But it's not likely. It's very extended. People are going to, maybe they might start to sell soon. The people who are in like 152, right? 250. Stock is now at 325. when they start to take profits, this thing starts to come back down. So I'm looking at this one like I've already missed it. But we'll see. Maybe that 5% chance could be today. But I don't have my hopes up. I look forward to reacting to whatever it does in the moment. If it's strong, then good. If not, then that's also no problem. That's MMV. So we got 435, 545, and then 1315 all the way up. I don't know if it'll get there. And then 1775. Pre-market highs right now, we have 330. Seems like it's pulling back a little bit. Big buyers are all over this thing. I'll put out a trend line right there. 13. Oh, excuse me, 330. 330. Okay. Moving on. There's stock V. Oh, jeez. I got to take my time here. YJ. Stock YJ. Up 74%, but at 37 cents. There's 19 million shares of volume and 49 million shares in the float. It's up 74%. Usually I prefer the more expensive stocks, but we can keep an eye here. Maybe there's something later into the day. Pre-market highs on YJ is up at 49 cents. Let's pull it up down here as well. Pre-market highs on YJ, 49 cents. The low of this second move up has been 33 plus or minus, right? Trading within the 100th of the penny. So we're in this range. Can we get a breakout to the upside? So it's consolidating sideways between 33 and 49. Can we see a breakout above the pre-market highs? If we do, then I'm going to switch over to the daily chart and see where this thing might potentially go. 200 EMA at 57 cents. At 57 cents. I'm definitely interested in that level. The 200 EMA is another popular EMA that's used in really and truly mid caps, large caps, and small caps. A lot of people, even if you just look around on YouTube, they use this the 200 the 200 EMA, sometimes the 100 SMA, the 50 moving average, the 9 EMA. I try not to use too many of them, but a lot of people are using these. VWAP as well, right? Is another one. Some people are also using things like MACD. It all depends on how you want to approach the trading. But yeah, YJ, looking at the daily chart, we had some big volume going back to November of last year, November 25th. We had a double top around 102. So if this is really strong, it has to break over 103, that area. And if it does, maybe we can really see something for real. So you guys can, of course, pull up your daily charts as you're looking at these stocks, right? For those of you who are taking the classes, we have chapters going over on what to look for when it comes to pre-market analysis and the daily levels. So feel free to revisit those chapters at any time as UCAR is taking a beating here. Okay, coming down some more. Speaking of UCAR, this is the next one on the list. For those of you, and I can pull this up top for MMU right quickly here. When it comes to this scanner, right? When it comes to this scanner, anything with a W at the end is like a warrant, which is essentially like a class B of the stock. If you think of it that way, it's a simpler way of explaining it. Lighter volume. I want to be trading the real deal, right? Anything that's lighter volume, stuff like that people are not paying attention to, despite the percentage gain being high, I'm not going to be looking at it, right? So of course, in the chapters going over, stock selection and your stocks to trade, we definitely talk about this a lot as well. So, make sure volume, right? Float. At the end of the day, it has to do with supply and demand. And if there's a limited amount of supply and there's breaking news, there's a chance we see an imbalance, whether to the buy or sell side. That provides volatility. The stock is going crazy. And from that point on, it's up to us to stay disciplined and try to be as consistent as possible in capitalizing on the patterns and the edges that we know and love. So with that being said, for those of you tuning in on YouTube, guys, hit that thumbs up, right? Do not slack off with the thumbs up today. Do not slack off. I'm going to get rid of some of these previous trend lines as they're not going to be as necessary, or let's say as relevant rather. 1130, 1076. 1130 was yesterday's high. I'm going to start there on UCAR. I honestly think that this one will be the stock of the day. You see how it's pulling back here? If it starts to like base out, maybe we do get something into the open. Pre-market highs are at 15.19. That or it's on the backside already and it's finished. And we'll have to pay attention to the scans or whatever else might be coming along. You know, these days I'm no longer upset if the stock doesn't go. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. It's just, you know, maybe it's finished. And if I wanted to, I could have been here at 7 a.m., right? So there's always that. So yeah, we got pre-market highs at 15.19. We got lows of the pullback here coming down at 11.60. Although I'll watch 11.30 as I think it's more significant, which is yesterday's high. Right, we got 11.30. This is where we want to see the stock basing out. And then eventually a red to green into the open. Remember yesterday we started off choppy and down, and then out of nowhere just, you know, went to the moon. So we'll see. I'm not expecting, I don't want to have that expectation because again it can just sell off, but we'll see whatever it does in the moment. If it's telling us we can trade it and there's A quality opportunities, then we get involved. If not, we're just on the sidelines waiting for an obvious stock. So patience as always, and you know that's the top three, right? Is there anything else that's on here that's worth looking at? Everything else I'm seeing lighter volume. KXIN I've traded before, but the higher float is also pretty cheap. Not going to touch that. CNTB, an honorable mention. CNTB. Is this worth looking at? Maybe. You know what? I'll save it on my Thinkorswim just in case. There's the alarm. CNTB. Okay, I'll take a quick break to make sure my screen recording is turned on. By the way, for those of you who are looking to get involved in MMU, there's one more day, right? The coupon code manifest is going to finish tomorrow at midnight, Saturday at 12 a.m. We decided to push it the full week instead of ending it on Wednesday at the end of the month. We pushed it to Saturday. So if you are interested, be sure to utilize the coupon code. Okay, screen recording. What I usually do is just open up another OBS. It doesn't seem like it takes up too much CPU or anything. In fact, there's been days I've ran 3 separate OBS to record all the different screens I have. Okay, looks good. Moving on. CNTB. I'm going to quickly go through this one and then get ready for the open. So CNTB, it's up 37%, currently around 150, 8 million shares of volume, and there is 18 million shares in the float. Pre-market highs, 178. The low of the pullback here so far has been 149. Can we bottom and hold 149? CNTB. I'm going to take a quick look at the daily chart. Is there anything that I need to map out here? I'm seeing the 200 is at 163, 200 EMA that is. That's a level I want to keep an eye on as well. Guys, every day is the same. Every day is the exact same here for me. I want to boil this consistency down to a T. And every day I'm doing the same thing. It's why it's always a good day. Even if I end red on a day, right? It's like, you know, we come in here, we be disciplined towards what we know works. If it doesn't pay out on that particular day, no problem. Move on. Never personal. So I'm noticing a couple of candles. Okay, 158, which is kind of the 200 already. If we come back some more, if we go back to August 8, 2022, we had a high point of 208. Can we break over 208? If we do, there's some room. And from there, we can approach it in 50-cent increments. You know, can we get to 250, 350, so forth, so forth. Yeah, so some quick analysis there, and I'll write up the watch list and we should be good to go. We already have a detailed watch list from Marcelo, but you know, just he puts that out at 9 a.m. So you know, for a small update in case something else hits the scan, starts to move. So we got UCAR, which is definitely one of the ones I was watching into the open. MMV, YJ, YJ, and CNTB. You know, which one is it going to be? Is it going to be all of them? None of them? Will we have to wait for something else? Only time can tell. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to read the future here? We all would have been millionaires already. That's wishful thinking. Red to Green is in the building. Red to Green, what's going on, man? Okay, guys, time to get ready. So, for the opening statements, it's another beautiful day. You know, here we are once again. It's another day to exercise discipline, right? It's another day to be patient. It's another day as the 2-minute warning is coming up right on time. It's another day for us to enjoy ourselves too, right? We have to have some fun as we trade. It can't all be serious or else we can go crazy, all right? So, you know, let let loose in the sense that, you know, you can relax, understand that what you're doing here today is nothing different from what you've been studying for all these months, weeks, years for some of us, right? It's a matter of applying what we know and being disciplined about it. So let's be consistent. Let's be the best managers that we can be. And let's follow the rules that we have for ourselves that'll give us the best chance of success. Now, with that being said, into the open, make sure to trade smart. Make sure to trade setups. And besides that, our disclaimer, all right, guys, day trading is, you know, a business. And as you guys know, business is risky. No matter the sector, no matter the field, business is risky always. So understand that trading is risky and trading is business. Trading is risky business, right? You have to approach it in a safe and methodical way. And you can do that by trading in a simulator where you can practice trading the live market with artificial currency as you gain experience, right? Build confidence, prove to yourself that you know what you're doing. If you're one of the people that says you don't have the emotional connection in the sim, okay, fine. Use risk money. Money that if you lose it all right here, right now, it does not affect your livelihood or your lifestyle in any way, shape, or form. All right. Remember not to blindly copy me. That's a recipe for disaster. You have to understand the strategy for yourself in order to see success. All right. Besides that, remember that, you know, the typical result is, you know, losing, right? So even if you see me green here, the scan is going crazy. Even if you see me being green here on the day, you know, trading is hard, right? Remember that trading is hard. Lastly, I do not invest money for my subscribers, so be careful about any impersonators, right? Whether in Discord, YouTube comments, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. Uh, oh, we didn't need to delete. Oh, fix that later. Okay, time to go racing. So UCAR, as mentioned, 1130. You know, it's kind of already down there. But we got a green candle curling back up. High 1184, low of 1092. So big range. UCAR, are we on to something here? Or is this getting ready for a drop? There's a spread. We got MMV pushing up slightly. Which one will it be into the open? Not starting with huge size yet, just being patient. The other one is moving, MMV. Pre-market highs are at 38.
SGIIU.
Yeah, the other one looks like it's the stock to be watching. Okay. Well, not good. Okay. MMV, $200 loss to start. Buying a dip, the dip teleports to the upside in the blink of an eye, but it looks like it might be failing here. The dip teleported so fast, I got a high fill, it's already back down as I'm trying to sell into the highs. Very fast and aggressive momentum there. UCAR starting to move. Jeez, these fills on the ask. Couldn't even hold that trade because of that. Uh-oh. Not good. Ay, ay, ay. $600 loss, UCAR. Trying to buy the dip. Okay, let's slow it down with the size. That was a big drop. Let's pull it up. I think this might be the one. But we got to be a little bit more patient. So let's slow it down. High of days at 1280. Quite. Okay, we need some more green. Can we see the push through the highs? 75, 77. There's 80. Not bad. Halt levels extended. It might need more pullback. There's a bigger drop there. Can we get above VWAP? We'll see if it gets above VWAP and holds a little bit. Bit of a bad fill coming out right there. High of day 13. But it's holding up well. It's moving all right. We got to connect on some trades here, though. A little bit of red to wake us up. To start the day. Low of the candle, 1230. High of day at 13. I got to be careful of the bigger pullbacks that we're seeing. High of day trades working, but not very instant with the volume. As if there's some hesitation. Low 1230. So watching, will we see a new high right here? Or do we need more pullback? Not quite. Well, we got our work cut out for us, that's for sure. The low of the current candle is 30. We are holding above VWAP for now. I prefer to see it pull away than have to pull back below VWAP again. And look at that drop. It's not even going to hold up at the lows of 1230. Well, to the depths it goes. Halting down. Titanic. YJ, on the other hand, it's a little cheaper. It's moving. $1,100 reg start to the day. And, just like that. That doesn't take much. But we did get caught for a 40-cent loss, 2,000 shares. That's never good. YJ, this is the only one holding up to this point. Choppy start to the day. I feel good mentally. Will we see something that holds up that strong? That's what it comes down to. So waiting patiently. And that was a nice move too. The first 1 minute candle does make the new high. The baby pullback was in there, just kind of got chopped out. It's a little unfortunate, but never personal though. 937. YJ, maybe there's something here on this pullback. $42. I think I'll re-average here. Probably try and hit the bids if it lingers a little bit longer. Bounced up pretty quickly. It's fluctuating a lot. And it's 2-3 cent range. So waiting patiently. MMV curling back up. Can we hold up on this dip? No, it's pretty choppy. And we're seeing a topping wick. To the depths. MMV. It's holding up, but I don't like that we're seeing a big topping wick there. 42. Let's pull it up. Might be better to watch. $360 was previous high of day. Waiting patiently. We'll see. Right now we're seeing a lot of range. We'll see if it gives a flag, something like that. The price action trade's a little tricky because of the range. We want limited downside risk, high upside potential. If the downside risk is just as high as the upside potential, then there's the 1-to-1, and we need a 2-to-1 in terms of risk management. So it's trying at the highs right now. I'm easing off, just waiting to see what it does. The 5-minute chart does look good. So the pullback down there could work. If it comes back down again, could try with some smaller size. Just take a starter position and see what it does with a backstop in place. But we don't want to see a repeat of UCAR where it just flushes down. YJ seems to still be holding up, but slow and steady. Also have to be careful with the spreads in the pullbacks in case there's a big spread. We don't need to be filled high. So right now, just waiting patiently. I do like pullbacks if it's pullback, but we're making a new high. Let's see how it does. It's very volatile, very volatile. Will we see a dip? High of days now at $4. I want something more dramatic from the price action to be in. The way how it's moving right now for like break of 4 is just too choppy. Losing 10 cents is like just automatic here. Yeah, 4 to 91. That's just too little too much. So waiting for something more decisive. If it breaks above the level, if there's big bids, it's holding well maybe, but waiting to see what it does. If it's strong, we'll see opportunities. The patience will pay off. $4.35 is the next level that I have. $4.35. $77 for the low right there. $77 again. It's holding rather high. High of the current candle is 90. YJ worked out nicely off that VWAP bounce at 40. Not bad, 5 cents from 40 to 45. Okay. 75, not well, and it's pulling back much more. Not the best fill right there. Not the best fill. Might be coming down 57. Tried for 60, got a little bit of a higher fill, a bit of lag. It might be failing here. We do have a wick on that 5-minute candle, so it might be failing. Yeah, it looks like it might be. It needs to give a huge bottoming wick, like right here, right now. If not, it's done. At least for the short term, right? Ay, ay, ay. YJ still moving up. YJ hitting 50. Well, here I am to start the day with my biggest red day to this point, right? Down maybe 1400 right now if my math is any good. Although still not bad compared to the green days we've had, but still pretty steep, right? This at this point, this is where I started thinking of a max loss. I probably give myself like another $200 of room if I don't, because I haven't seen a winning trade yet to start this day. If I don't see a winning trade in like my next 2 trades, then I have no choice but to throw in the towel. We can't give back, all of yesterday's gains. That wouldn't be good. But mentally, still feel great. Just got caught on almost everything, unfortunately. If this is strong, I think it holds the previous high of day. That was the trade, 66. Could have maybe been in lower, but the way how it pulled back, I would have had a loss anyways. All right. So we got a lot of indecision. Maybe it curls back up, but I think it needs a little bit more time. Kind of, show some more buying volume and interest. This rate, I'm gonna have to go put on a red shirt. For those of you who get the joke, right? So far, so good. This is a good bounce. This is the type of interest I want to see. Now, if it dips down again, is where we want to see it holding. So a high point right here is at 79. We'll see if it gives something meaningful, right? Can the stock talk to us nicely here today? MMV. YJ seems to be pulling back. YJ seems to be pulling back. What I don't want to do is overcompensate for like bigger pullbacks. Like I'm gonna buy the pullbacks where it makes sense, but let's see what happens. Hopefully we can see some good entries. 57 for the current low. We got a high point of 80. UCAR curling back up a little bit. I don't know if that one is serious just yet. There's 12, 13 on the bids. So it is a little volatile. UCAR still has some range to it. These fills are lagging bad. I'll be back out for a scratch trade there. Okay, there we go. A decent fill for once. Well, we'll see what this wants to do. A decent fill. Stock is pretty volatile. Is this it? Or not yet? We might make new lows here. I'll trust the price action, but I'll have to be quick if it looks like it still wants to drop, right? Let's see what it does. Still holding. And finally, our first winning trade of the day, right? Feels good to be on the winning side. Oh, not quite yet. Still waiting. It seems to still be holding though. So I'll try again. Tight stops as usual. As always. Take me to the moon. We could see a drop here. It's acting weird. 10-cent drops. What we want to see is the 5-minute candle make the new high. Such a strange one. High of 380. High of the current is 68. It's like buying 70 is not bad if it's going, but it's with all this chop that we're seeing, it makes it tricky. So UCAR moving up a little bit, but big range as well. We're seeing some buying. The fills are brutal here, man. 61. Fills are brutal. We're making a lower highs, so I'm going to ease off. Lower highs and lower lows. Good buying 55, but just not enough. We want to see it make the new high and then attack 70, 75. UCAR, what will it be here above VWAP? Well, missed the move. Will we get a dip? Will we get a dip? Will we get a dip? No dip. No dip. Well, I tried 75. It wasn't ready. Missed the trade. Take me to the moon. Watching for 1350. My fill was kind of high though. Well, okay. All right. Max loss day. These stocks are not holding up. I think this will be my biggest single loss on a stock. 1200 UCAR. The stock that we did 2.1K on yesterday. Good trade right there. It's not going to hold VWAP though. Buying the dip, but the dip is just dipping. Dipping to the depths. Ay. Well, tomorrow. Mentally, I still feel good, but nothing is working. So at this point, I have no choice. The rules are the rules. The rules are the rules. A $1,700 a day. Biggest red day before this, I think maybe 1200. Let's see. Trader view. Getting diced up like a cucumber right now. Sliced and diced. But this is the lesson here today though. For anybody who might be taking, like, whether today or previous days, pay attention to the composure, right? For me to do something crazy, I honestly don't know what that would take. I haven't experienced that. But not to say that I'm immune to losing or anything, but I'd have to, I don't know what would have to happen for me to do something out of character. Okay, big red day, tomorrow, I'm ready to go. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully there's some good momentum. Maybe we can get a nice green day, but we'll see how it goes. The only good news is that we're still green on the month, but barely at this point. 600. Biggest red day to this point. Let's see. We'll pull up the trader view stats. I don't want to spoil the monthly recap, and I don't think it was this month. So maybe March. Or maybe last year. No, last year. Friday to the depths, man. A beautiful day. Still a beautiful day, but not the result we would have wanted. Of course, we would have wanted to be up 1700. But after yesterday, I did tell myself it's just unfortunate sometimes, right? But this is why you have to be relentless. Again, yesterday, I told myself, you're gonna put on your big boy pants and take some big size. Same trades that I take all the time. They just happen to not work today. But being that I'm relentless, it'll have no choice to work eventually. keeping discipline, keeping composure, being patient. Uh, you know, we'll see something. So the biggest red day might have been December of last year. 1300. Okay, 1300. So, setting a record on the wrong side of things. This day also got, just, chopped up. 245 red, 474, 146, 270, 322, 259. There might be something good later on in the day, maybe after like 10:30 around that time. But being that I'm already max loss, it'll you kind of have to, even if you're going to be red, you want to be small red so that you can survive, right? Longevity throughout the day. You can survive, still give yourself a chance. We did manage risk, but we just got caught in some big flushes. So we live to fight another day. So I'll import, and I can import right now, and we can take a look at it. Mm-mm-mm. The last import was on the 31st. Guys, the monthly recap will be out on Saturday or Sunday. Saturday or Sunday. But there will be two weekend videos. So we'll export that and then import on the other side. Ay, 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 ay. Wow, a big donation from Twin. Twin, I appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes I don't see the comments right away. 111 for promo or promotion code discount. Hey, big shout out to Twin, man. Twin has been a long time supporter of the channel. Lucky number 111. Bringing us some good luck. Yeah, Twin has been a long time supporter of the channel. So big shout out to Twin. We definitely appreciate it. Import, choose file. Yeah, the comments, I look at the comments from time to time, but I kind of have to, when I'm looking at the comments, I'm looking over here where I'm looking right now. Usually I'm like center or up top or this side, right? Scans. And then there's YouTube comments and then Discord comments. So sometimes I'm looking at Discord and not YouTube, other time YouTube and not Discord. I try to keep both open. Mm-mm-mm. This is the territory though. This is the territory. It's also why on a day like yesterday, it's good to really in the recap I mentioned how I could have easily went up to like 3,500 shares. On a day like yesterday, if I'm really pushing it, I think we do like 6 to 8K on the day. But I didn't push it. You can't be afraid of the volatility when it's working. On a day like today is where you want to run it and get out of here. But on a day like yesterday, you gotta just, you gotta take control. So calendar, well, we didn't refresh. Okay, we're good. Couple of duplicates, but here's June. We will bounce back as we always do. In fact, I don't give myself a choice, which some of you might say is like really high standards or pressure, but that's just who I am, right? We'll be back. So we're still green 1,000 on the month, but not the day we would have wanted here. Tomorrow, well, Monday we'll be back. We'll be a little bit better. In terms of adjustments, you say, okay, RT, how could you have adjusted on the day? It's a little tricky, right? Because again, it's the same type of trades I always will take. Maybe a little less size in those areas. That's the only thing I could really think of. But then again, if you're trying to be aggressive, that's not really an adjustment, right? So just, today just happened to have been a red day. It's the only way I could sum it up. Nothing more, nothing less. not personal. I'm not gonna lie though. In the first loss, I'm like, wait, what? You know, it's like it is like if I'm in a boxing match and then I get a little dazed, like, but then it's like, okay, red trade. So what? You know, let's keep looking for the next set. So if you do get hit, if you get punched in the gut or an uppercut, you know, keep focus, keep focus, stay dialed in, stay locked in, and keep pushing forward. I think I'll hang out, you know, for a little bit and then I'll shut it down. I'll check out some of the comments, see if there's any questions. Don't forget that if you are looking to sign up for MMU, tomorrow's the last day, 12 a.m. Tomorrow at 12 a.m. Today we get to see some archives of, you know, maybe just volatility. Volatility, really. Even yesterday on one of those resumptions, I bought onto this big bid. It's down like 70 cents instantly. I mean, just crazy stuff. Stock bounces up a little bit. We get a fortunate fill. We didn't take the full 70-cent loss. It happened to be like a 30, maybe 40-cent loss, right? But you know, part of trading, the risk is always on the other side of the trade. My my number one risk is, you know, the flush, the common flush, which is like just a big red candle going down. Other than that, we have offerings and halts. Halt resumptions are actually one of the more high risk areas, right? I view it as the first minute of the open and and the last minute towards the close. Like the volatility is high on the resumptions, and you know, as UCAR pushing up and coming down again here. The thing that makes the resumption good is that there is an entry within the volatility that I see, right? But in terms of holding into the halts, this is where it's a big no for me. Whilst it can be good in some market, I've just decided to not, you know, to not do it, right? The only circumstance where it can make sense is if I'm in with a really good cost basis. I've already scaled out some of the position, and I say, okay, I'll let these last couple of shares go into the halt just to see what happens. And it's like, for me to be hurt on the resumption, the stock would have to do something catastrophic, opening down 50% lower or something, which then leads to an offering, right? If the stock is halted up and there's an offering, we can resume 50% lower, stock from $10 going down to 5. In that case, I take a big loss, but it's not anything like devastating to the account or anything like that. But it's still a big loss, something we that you know that we would want to avoid. Third is emotions. If you get emotional, and maybe that could even be number one, depending on how you view everything. If you get emotional whilst trading, I mean, it can be bad. We all know this. You know, a lot of us have had experiences with this when it's you versus you and you're losing the battle versus yourself. And it does not feel good. It's one of the worst feelings I ever had in the past, which is why I always draw the line in the sand and just stop whenever it's not working, because I don't need to get to that place ever again. I've been there before, right, in the sim, and it's funny because I was talking to one of the moderators about this yesterday. It was just, you know, not good. Seeing yourself doing something that you know you shouldn't do and not being able to stop yourself. One of the worst, you know, definitely top 5 worst feelings I ever had. I mean, yeah, top 5 easily. There's some other stocks being called out. Play poker. Man, you know, poker is not bad. We played some poker the last time. We'll be playing some poker in July when I meet up with these guys again. These guys love poker, man. Poker is fun, you know, but of course, for people who, you know, I don't know, it might not even be the best thing to really get into, but it could be fun if you're just doing it as like a hobby, or let's not say hobby, even just let's just say for fun, right? On occasions or something. Did I bet money? Of course not, because I would never. For me personally, this is a personal preference. For each their own. If you bet a little something, you know, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I refuse to bet anything. So we just essentially played for free, right? But it was still fun. I don't really gamble, casinos and those type of things. I never really, you know, understood. the excitement. Now, some people will say, hey, trading is gambling, but I disagree, right? It could be. If I close my eyes and go buy Tesla right now and count to three, then that's definitely gambling. And UCAR, another big red candle, right? Anybody could go right now and buy any stock. It's gambling if you don't have a strategy that's consistent, right? Which is why the recommendation is to trade in a simulator or use risk money when you're first starting. That way you can gain experience, find something consistent, and then push forward, right? That way the risk is limited. Your exposure is low, you're gaining experience, stuff like that. So is trading gambling? The answer is no, but it also could be, right? So no and yes, depending on how you approach it. At times, what does happen a lot though is that we'll think that we know, and then we don't. We actually don't, and we end up losing because of that. But it's one of those things where it's like you live and you learn, right? You first started trading, you thought you had a good strategy, but looking back 5 years later, that was a terrible strategy. Was that gambling? I'd say no. You kind of did the best with what you had at the time, right? Yeah, UCAR is still trying. Max loss, I tell you, man. There's an ABCD pattern taking place. Watch out for those big drops, though. Hopefully you can pull away, because if we see another big drop, it's not going to be good. Pre-market highs are up there at 15. I know it's getting stuffy at 15.19. Imagine being like a news reporter or like a broadcaster, a streamer, and you have a cold at 365 days throughout the year. We need to bottom out. Can we bottom out? If it keeps dropping down here, not good, right? Can we bottom out? Okay, it seems like we might have had a low at 30. Here's 32, 34. It might start to pull away eventually, hopefully. At least the people still trading, the bulls that are still trading, can have another chance. Those of you who are small green, big green, break even, as long as you're not max loss, right? 1351, the area getting called out. Once again, big shout out to Twin, who is a long-time supporter of the channel. Buying the dip, but the dip just keeps on dipping. Like mentally, I still feel good, but it's like I just understand that I'm down too much. It's like it doesn't make sense. At this rate, I could be down another 300, another 600, another 1,000. So despite feeling good mentally, the the lesson is like, hey, we talk about what stories the market telling. The market is telling me right now, hey, RT, you might as well just stay away, because right now I'm pretty choppy, right? Despite some decent areas, I'm a little choppy, so just ease off, come back, live to fight another day, as the birds are chirping. My birthday is not today, Steve. It's not today. For me, I don't know. For me, like, even birthdays and these type of things, I don't let it come into the way of my trading. It's just another day. Just another day. I don't know if trading has made me that way, but I feel like I kind of always was. I kind of always was, in terms of just this person who wouldn't really, go crazy for things. Like I wouldn't wait for a specific day to celebrate. If I want to celebrate tomorrow and do something fun tomorrow, then I go do something fun tomorrow versus like waiting for this day. It could be raining on that day. I mean, who knows, right? I could be, I could have a flu on that day. I mean, I don't know, right? Not to think negatively, but and that's the point of trading is that there's a level of freedom to where when you feel like you want to do something, you can go do it versus waiting for Christmas or birthday or so those days to me really it's like an excuse to go do something even if you might not even feel like it on that particular day. I don't know if people agree with that. Maybe some, maybe others might say, have fun on that day. I don't know. What happens on when your birthday falls on a weekday and you have to go to work? You're really and truly celebrating on the Saturday or Friday or something. So it's like, it's a weird thing. But anyhow, so here's break of 14. Let's get back to the technicals. Break of 14, stock is trying, slowly and steadily grinding up. It might start to pull away, watching on from the sidelines. I hope it does. You guys know I'm still a bull at heart. I want to see this thing go to the moon. Short sellers covering. The entries have been tricky, but again, we did hold that low of 13.30. We made a new low of 21, pulled back by like 10 cents. So it still held that area on this flag. So we're seeing a bit of a cup, I'd say a cup here in the recent time frame and then pull away. So handle in this flag, and we can draw it up a little bit. All right, nice quick flag. We have the cup coming down here. Curls up, quick flag. And this is where if it's really serious, maybe we get a quick test of pre-market highs over the next 10-15 minutes. If not, maybe some consolidation. Hopefully not a big pullback. Volume has been good. We had high of day volume on our last 5-minute candle, which is a great sign. High is at 14.25. High of the last area was 13.85. Low is currently at 13.72. So I think it's looking pretty decent. It seems to be moving a little bit more linear, which is good. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Looks like it's heating up a bit. There's 15. It's holding high. Halt 29. Right up at the pre-market high, so we get halted up here. See, that's what this day basically is telling me. It's like, if you survive the first like 20 minutes and then have big red, there might be opportunities coming. It's rare that we see a day where just nothing happens. In fact, it's been like years since like 2018. I think 2018 there's a week where I saw nothing. Can you imagine being here for a week and then you see nothing? Crazy. Lows at 14.48. Might see a small consolidation below the pre-market high. So as I mentioned, within the next 15 minutes, will we get a quick test of the pre-market highs? There it is. So it's telling me the stock means business. It's hard to say how strong it'll be. If I throw a number out there, I'd say, can we see like 18 or $20 if it's really good? I don't want to compare it to yesterday and what it did yesterday, but can we see 16, 18, 20? If it goes to 30, if I come back at the recap and it's like at 30, then that would be amazing. So 48 for that low. The previous high was around 14.25. So between the way how I look at this, between 48 and then 25. Can we try and hold up in that range and continue higher? There's some selling. Potential entries. Can we hold up this zone? The low there was now 39. Can we hold up that zone and curl back up to highs? This is where this, like, we'll talk about it, right? This is where it is tricky. Like, on a max loss day, I'd recommend shutting it down, right? Because you can then be enticed to trade again. For me, I'm not touching anything here, but still, seeing these entries, seeing some areas working out, it can entice you to trade. And what happens is that it's like the market sometimes it's just waiting for you, right? Not saying it's against you, but it seems like on days where things are not in your favor, it's like I would have bought right there. I would have bought at 14.25. I'd have been stopping out at 13.80, maybe down here at 13.50. And then is when you really get emotional because you then turn and ask yourself, why did I trade after already saying I wasn't going to trade? That's how you get into trouble. So, on a max loss day, don't even stick around. Just shut it down and just get out of here. Relentless trader knows the deal, right? In fact, the way how it goes, if I was to take a trade, at that point, like, me in a rational mind, right? 2 3 days from now, when I'm already back in a nice day, I'd look back and say I deserve to take the loss, and you do, you do because you asked for it, right? If I was to be in there and then drop down 50 80 cents on me, I deserve the loss because then what am I doing, right? The rules are the rules. So on max loss days, if you might have trouble, don't even stick around. Just get out of there and shut it down. You don't need any FOMO kicking in on you or any nonsense like that. We have to hold ourselves accountable always. So we didn't hold up that level below the pre-market highs, or we had a bigger pullback. At first we did, we bounced up, and 39, we went back to a high of 70, which is a good trade. And then, and this is basically what's happened to me too throughout this day. Let's say it took 39. Let's say I'm in with a higher fill 50. I'm in at 50. I sell 65. I make 15 cents. I try to trade again. I would have probably been buying at like 20. And look at what it does. It flushes down to 50. The downside risk in some of the areas is even more than the upside potential. Really and truly though, we want this pullback to go back to high of day and then continue. But if you're caught in the wrong areas, you're at a deficit, right? You're in the negative, which is what happened to me today. But yeah, this is a good place. It's getting close to 10:30. I'm gonna check out some of the comments. Hope you guys had a good day today. Let's see. Hope you guys, let me know if you guys finished red or green. Hopefully you guys had a good day. Oh yeah, Steve, you remember? Yeah, every day is my birthday, man. Every day is a good day. Have I bought anything to reward myself recently? MMV guys, MMV, big red to green here. Very sudden move too after selling off. Big bear trap. Um, I haven't really bought anything right now. The way how things are, it's like I'm not gonna say I have everything I need, because we all want things, right? Or I guess there's a contradiction there, right? Wants versus needs, two different things. Right now, I'm buying a traveling trading setup for myself. The one I've been using is my older brother's. I have a brother that trades. You guys will see him. I keep saying this. You guys will see him soon. I mean, whenever he's ready, right? Um, but I'm buying a traveling trading setup, which is should be cool. I can do an unboxing of that and like a review. That should be fun. But I haven't really been spending money on anything. Look at this nonsense here, man. Like what's going on this day? Beautiful bear trap into now bull trap. Pre-market definitely had the best action so far, from what I can see. This is not good. Hopefully nobody got caught in that one. Very indecisive stuff here today. But the stock is up a lot. Some people will say it's extended. It's always a fair point versus the pre-market lows. Ay, ay, ay. Why don't I share more about breaking news on the channel? Well, you know, very earlier, jeez, I can't talk. Very earlier, guys. By the way, this I'll say right. This is a forced accent. This accent right here that I'm speaking with is a forced accent, which is why you always hear words coming up so weird, right? But earlier, when I started trading, right, earlier in my career as a day trader, I come to realize that the specific headline doesn't really matter as much. What really matters is the technicals, the candlesticks, how we're moving, right? Volume. And that's because we've had days where we've had some amazing news headlines. If you read the article, just nothing but beautiful things, excellent things, great deals, great products, improvements in sales and all these things. The stock pushes up a little bit, maybe 20%, and then sells off 60%. And on other days, there'll be stocks, hey, we're going to be bankrupt in the next 3 months. The stock does 300%. So whilst the news is significant, for me, I watch it news as just a way for volume and attention to come to the stock. Nothing more, nothing less. We've had great earnings. The stock still sells off. So, you know, they say it's how the market interpretate the news. And it's pretty tricky stuff. So I just look at it as a outlet for volume, attention, and from there I then move on to the technical side of things. Moon Trader, the pressure of FOMO. I've only really felt FOMO a few times, but this is what frustrates me, right? The number one thing that frustrates me with trading is when I make silly mistakes. When I make silly mistakes, that does bother me. That does bother me. And there's this feeling of just wanting to prove myself over and over again. It's like it has nothing to do with the outside. It's just me and how I am. Like, I was always competitive. I used to do track and field and all these things. It's like I could lose the race, and it's like already in my mind, I'm already thinking about the next race and how I'm gonna win the next race, right? So when I do make silly mistakes, you know, I've gotten better at it, but in the past I'd have a hard time processing why I let something so silly, occur, right? But at the end of the day, we're humans. We will make mistakes. The best thing we can try and do is have them be few and far apart. Other than that, I don't really get frustrated. The setups are the setups, the patterns are the patterns. Just got to be sound. Just got to be as sound as possible, and that way we don't make many mistakes throughout the trading day. That's what really creates, like, if I ever feel FOMO, it's because of that. It's like, we don't want to call ourselves names or anything, but it's like, you know, how could you let this happen, right? It's kind of what happens in those situations. But then I accept it, then I move on. So sometimes I have to go to the gym. Like they'll, in the past, like if I'm more frustrated on a day, I'd go to the gym, kind of like, exercise, whatever you have to do to kind of get yourself going again, right? I had this guy once tell me he knew a guy that, he'd go on a racetrack. He had a motorbike and just, going around the lap 200 miles an hour. That was his way of kind of just coming back center. Very extreme, but for whatever works, right? Whatever works. Whatever works. But for those of us who are not trading in retirement accounts, because retirement accounts you can't really take out cash. It is good to if you're in a margin account and you are seeing gains, to bring down the account every so often, right? Uh, you know, it's a way of managing risk. Because one of the questions I had earlier is, did I take money out to buy something for myself, to reward myself? It's good to take money out. Um, what's the point of having the account grow, 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 grow? We already have margin. Do we really need more than a certain amount of cash in the accounts? Probably not, right? Not unless you're taking on like 50,000 share positions, 100,000 share positions. Then okay, maybe you need more buying power if you're going in, a little more heavy. But other than that, you take out cash, you can put it elsewhere, right? Investment accounts, savings accounts, um, pay bills, whatever you might want to do. I don't know, right? Go on a vacation. Right now I'm down 1,700 on the day. Red day recap. Today I probably go through the trades. Uh, just for us to learn it. Today I probably go through the trades. RKB, take it easy, stay safe, stay green. Oh my goodness. KB, we keep it PG here, man. We keep it PG. My max bench. Where's my phone? I gotta do some math. Um, this is tricky because when we talk about the reps, like if it's just one rep, let's see. Probably, probably, probably anywhere between like 190 to like 205 if I had to just take a guess. But I don't go crazy in the gym because usually I'm by myself, and if you don't have a good spotter, you don't want to be going crazy and end up injuring yourself, or even worse, because we've seen some things before on on those videos where people will try to bench you know an extreme amount, and it's not even assisted, and they can't get out from under the weight, right? It's not good. Charlie, take it easy as well. Yeah, I'm gonna head out myself. It's oh man, it's 10:30. Right. I'm seeing some comments that are funny comments. But yeah, it's Friday. Yeah, it's time to get out of here, man. So we'll review, we'll study up, we'll come back. You know, if we see any adjustments after the recap, we'll make those adjustments. But other than that, it's another good day, right? I came in, I followed my rules. Just a little unfortunate to be down. But when we do put this red day into perspective, how many, you think about it, like how many days of 1700 did I have before now seeing a red day of this size, in terms of green days, right? It's probably like 40 to 1 or something. I don't know. But so, we'll try, of course, moving forward to keep the red days small. But we do know with increasing share size, naturally things just get bigger in both directions. So if you're going the distance, continue to trade smart, continue to trade setups. Make sure to, stick to the rules, stay disciplined, keep the positive attitude, the positive mindset, and also keep perspective, right? Perspective is really big. If you can keep perspective in the moment, that also, helps you out to not do anything crazy, right? So besides that, yeah, I think it's a good one. Don't forget that the coupon code for MMU is expiring soon, right? Tomorrow at midnight. Tomorrow at midnight. And what is MMU? For those of you who are newer to the channel, right? MMU, Merciless Markets, right? This is the day trading course that I have where I go over all the strategies that I know and love and that I trade every day, right? If you're wondering if I'm a profitable trader, yes, I am. Today just happened to be a red day. And in fact, as even though this is my biggest red day, it's like it really doesn't bother me. It's just another day. Uh, it's just another day. Sometimes I wonder if I'm too much of a trader sometimes. Am I just losing my emotions here altogether, right? I don't think that's the case, but I definitely have good control, good control, but we have to always stay proactive because, a situation can always arise at any time, maybe something in your personal life. And usually it's extreme things like a divorce, a death in the family, um, to lesser degrees like an anniversary, maybe a birthday even, right? Maybe a couple other things, the loss of a job, right? A more extreme thing. There are things that can trigger you, and so you got to be very aware. You got to be very careful, and you have to always keep planning ahead, right? Again, we mentioned taking out money out of your account if you can. Like, God forbid something does happen at the worst case scenario, you don't lose everything, like maybe you lose a lot, but you don't lose everything because none of us are prone or let's say immune, right? None of us are immune. Things can happen, man. Things can happen, but we just have to, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and always try and stay ahead of the game as best as we can, and be as disciplined as we can. So yeah, this is the calendar so far this year. It's been a good year. We've already made more than we did last year, which is great, and we're not halfway through the year yet. So we'll see how we do. And I try not to even mention things like that because you know th- our goal here is progress, and it's not that we don't want to celebrate certain things, but again, we have to be very, very careful about mental pressure, or let's say artificial pressure, creating artificial pressure for ourselves. So whether it's a green streak, um, you know, a certain dollar amount, like this is another thing that catches a lot of people is, hey, I'm green 296. I want to be green 300 on a day. What is $4? When this is where the perspective comes in. When you keep the perspective, what is $4? We'd go take a trade and risk $100 to make $4 just so we could save her up 300. It's nonsense. It really is nonsense. So let's not get caught up with the small things like that, and just stay focused on the bigger picture, right? So that's what MMU is all about, the long run, right? The marathon mindset. the marathon mindset. Trading, if you think trading is get rich quick, then you're in the wrong place. Not because Bobby or somebody like that at work, Bobby or you know James, some random names we can call. All right, Kevin. There's a lot of Kevins. I know a couple of Kevins. Kevin might have gotten 50K off AMC. You might say, Kevin, I'm a harder worker than Kevin. I might even know this job better than Kevin does, right? Kevin made 50K on AMC in 1 week, 1 day. That means I can do double what Kevin did. That's not how it works. Kevin might have just gotten lucky. And, so we don't want to ever look at it in that way. If we do, we get in trouble, right? Slow and steady. It's all about the long run. It's all about consistency. And, we can see consistency. We can see improvement over time, right? We have to build experience and we have to apply the experience in the situations real time as the market ultimately, the history repeats itself. So be sure to use coupon code MANIFEST. And that's it. That's the day. Other than that, you guys can check out Momo Pro. This is the scanning software that I use. And yeah, check out Discord, which is currently under construction right now for our monetization process. Right, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but Discord is our chat room. Right, this is where it goes down. All right, they say it goes down in the DMs. This is where it goes down in Discord Messenger. So stay safe, stay green. It's been RT. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Hit that thumbs up on your way out, and have a great rest of the weekend. Do not obsess about trading. In fact, you want to do the opposite. You want to make sure you enjoy the time with family, with friends, enjoy the other job, the other business, the other project, whatever you might be doing. Have that fun. Just study up on Sunday evening or whenever you can a little bit. Refresh your mind of the market this week, and then come ready next week. That way you can stay ahead of the game, right? So stay safe, stay green. If you're going to distance, continue to trade smart, continue to trade setups. It's been your favorite YouTuber, Relentless Trader. Final P&L on the day, we're down $1,772.53. Max loss day. You guys will notice my max loss is not the same number. It just depends on how the day goes, but I will never cross that line in the sand mentally. All right. So stay safe, stay green. I am out of here.